Veterans Resources. They are a veteran-owned, and their co-owner is also a VA-accredited attorney. But what is exactly aid in attendance? In 2012, Patriot Angels simplified it, but really aid in attendance is a pension that is meant for veteran affairs monthly. It is tax-free. It includes the veteran themselves, their spouse, surviving spouse, and widows, and is designed to really help reduce with the costs of long-term care. It also does, though, extend into independent living as long as it meets certain requirements or criteria. So the pension amounts for 2026, it does vary based off of based off what the status is. So a veteran married to a veteran is up to 3,800 and change. I'm going to say the full numbers, but a married veteran is 28. A veteran just by themselves is 24, and then the surviving spouse is 1,500. So this is monthly. Yep, this is all paid directly to the veteran for their life, as long as they are approved for this benefit. That being said, there are some criteria that need to be met for the veterans. The requirements for this claimant must be 65 years or older or unemployable, has at least served 90 days of active military service with 1 day during a declared wartime, and must have received an honorable, medical, or general discharge. There's one other requirement before you do that, though, but for surviving spouse, they must have been married to the veteran for 1 year. They must not divorce the veteran, and they have to remain unmarried after the veteran's passing. So those are some of the requirements for surviving spouse. Eligible war times. They have some of of course, the bigger ones: World War II, Vietnam, and Korean. But then they all have the Persian Gulf War, which covers 1990 all the way present. So again, there must be at least 90 days of active military service, with one of those days falling within one of these time periods. So that is one of the requirements for it. The last one, this is the one that actually disqualifies the majority of veterans from this benefit, is income. The monthly cost for veterans or spouse typically need to align or exceed their gross monthly income. So how much they're generating as far as monthly income, their care level has to exceed it. So, for example, monthly care cost of $3,500. The monthly income it has to be $3,000. Basically, you just have to show that the gap in what your income is for that. The other limitation is assets. So in 2026, their asset limitation was $163,000. So again, with that number, there are some ways to work within this income and asset limitation. So the assets include financial accounts, investments, and any additional properties, excluding primary home on less than 2 acres of land. Ways that you're able to work within this asset limitation, though, is to have all assets and investments put into a trust, with the trust paying you up to the threshold of the annual asset limitation, which would allow you to potentially qualify for this benefit. It would need to have been done with a 5-year look back. So if you're looking into using the benefit, you'd have to have everything within that trust for 5 years prior to being eligible for this benefit. So again, Patriot Angels is co-owned by a VA-accredited attorney. We have direct access to the VA systems to track files in real time. So they can, as you submit your application or your claim, they'll be able to review it and tell you kind of where it's at. Really, they're outperforming national average, again, with their approvals. Currently, 1 out of every 4 approval is through Patriot Angels. Again, they're a national company, so they cover a lot of ground. But really, the benefit is cutting the wait time in half. So the biggest issue, one of the challenges when it comes to submitting your application for aid in attendance, it doesn't cost anything for anyone to go do it on their own, but it is a very long process. So it can take, it's a 60-page application that you get one thing wrong, one error wrong on the application, they send it back and they make you restart the application from scratch. So the average wait time is 8 to 12 months to get approved for this benefit. Patriot Angels has the ability to do it within 90 days on average. So again, with their tracking, they have a 99% acceptance rate when they have their applications submitted. So pretty high application process. The way they do that though is they provide 2 free consultations with veterans to say the first one is, do you meet the requirements for your service dates? Do you meet the requirements for pay or all of those items? And then the second consultation is going more of a deep dive to the financial conversation to see, do you meet those financial requirements and or where are you at with it and what is your overall plan? And then if they, within those first 2 free consultations, if they say, I think you'd be a good candidate for this, that third one would actually, it would be a one-time fee. It is $1,500, but that is the cost for the legal fees to submit the application on your behalf, track it, and then get it approved. It would also be back pay from the time that you submit your application itself, all the way to it. So you're looking at the monthly pension amounts. The lowest one is already $1,500. So if they tell you that we think you would be approved, then now that first check would cover the costs to submit the application itself. So that is really the process. Again, if somebody is interested that I'm working with, I send the information over to them. They do the intake, the benefit advisor, the third one is legal, and then they can start receiving claims eligible. So this is our partner that we have that I work with. Her name is Theo. But ultimately, when it comes to veterans resources as a whole, our goal at the village is really to help improve the benefits and the knowledge of the benefits that we have for veterans within our community and nationally. So that's something we're really focused on right now with our partner, Patriot Angels. But we have an amazing VA service office here that we have some great advisors that are able to help Jay and Eric. So this is really just another layer to help with making sure that our veterans in our communities here in Watertown and in Huntington County are aware of the benefits that they're eligible for potentially. So in the village, we're also working on expanding with veterans housing and also some other initiatives to really try to improve the quality. They say the statistic is within Huntington County, 10% of our population is made up of veterans. And so we are one of the largest veteran population county in the state of South Dakota. So that is a huge need and is something that is really growing when it comes to what I'm working with in seniors. So there's the big demand. So that's our reason for partnering with Patriot Angels. I do have a handout if anyone wants to take some information with you or know somebody who may use this. A couple of things to note on this. With Patriot Angels, if they do submit the aid and attendance benefit on your behalf, that means that the local VA service office is no longer able to do it for them through themselves. So it basically is saying you're allowing this other entity to do it on your behalf. So you can't have both of them working toward aid and attendance, but they can still help you with other benefits as well. So, all right, well, that's all I have for Patriot Angels.